Kia ora koutou, my name is Sam and I'm part of the N-Series team who are currently resourcing Tō Tātou Whakapono. As you know, there are 4 themes for each phase of learning. Each cross-theme runs through these. We are going to have a look at phase of learning 1, Te Atua theme. I'll share with you what some of our resources are looking like and give you some information around our thinking when creating these resources, which will hopefully support you in thinking about how this is all going to fit into the context of your kura. Within each learning pack, we have included background notes, which are filled with the theological knowledge you need to support your teaching, an overview, which includes a summary of the pack to support your planning, and a suggested learning sequence document, which goes into detail for you and is filled with links to our resources. We like to think of our work as organic and the hope that it will continue to grow as we listen, learn, and collaborate with you all on this journey. As we create our resources, our team are always learning and having conversations around all of these aspects we know are important in education. We realise there are a lot of resources in Phase of Learning 1. It is not intended that you use every single resource. You choose the resources that will work for you and adapt them to suit the needs of your learners in your classroom. The coding can seem a little daunting at first. In this example, we can see that PL1 is Phase of Learning 1, _1 is the theme Te Atua, point 3 for AO3, and point 2 for Learning Intention 2. In the second example here, we're going into the same Phase of Learning 1, where again in the Te Atua theme, we're still in AO3, but this time we're looking at Learning Intention number 4. It may be confusing at first, but it definitely grows on you and is an easy way to find the learning intention that you are after. The focus question for this level is, who is God? The kaupapa is, God is. We are engaging our young learners by introducing the concept of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, who loves us and is present to us. We also introduce the idea of encounter with Jesus. The children have opportunities to explore God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and there are also some fun ways to explore God's gift of creation. Children begin to learn about their spiritual journey, or hikoi wairua, which is a relatively new concept in this curriculum refresh. Let's start at AO1, grow an understanding of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. These are some of the things that the children will be looking at. The children start by building on their understanding of God. God is love, and what love means to them. They talk about Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, but the word Trinity is approached in Phase of Learning 1 too. Children learn the creation story through poetry, drama, and art. These learning packs are also full of resources that can be printed and displayed in the classroom so that children become familiar with the different prayers of the church. There are also some really cool connections to my whare tapawha, where children are linking our wholeness and our holiness together. AO2 is increase in knowledge that we can know Jesus and He is our friend. In AO2, children begin to take a look at hehu and how we can all be friends with Jesus. This learning is a gentle way to start discussing what a good friend looks like and what they do, using Jesus as the ultimate model for how to be a good friend. Within this learning, there are interactive PowerPoints, Bible story links, printable pages, and plenty of opportunities for oral language development. Moving into AO3, grow an understanding of how God is present in the world and in us on our spiritual journey. The children will learn that God is present in people in our world. They'll begin to unpack what spirituality is and what a spiritual journey is, and how God is present in our world and creation. Like I said earlier, spiritual journey is a relatively new concept in this curriculum refresh. The idea is that we're all on our own hikoi wairua, and throughout this learning we'll begin to unpack just what that means. We have created resources with a Kiwi flair to help guide children to understand and appreciate that God is present everywhere in the world. There are opportunities for children to slow down, to breathe, and to let God into their busy lives. AO4, grow in understanding that God chose to create and sustain the world as a gift for us to care for and enjoy. Now, this is a really cool AO for those of you who are in virus schools. There's lots of opportunities to integrate this AO into the mahi that you're doing in your environment. There's such an opportunity for kids to get out and amongst nature in this learning. This is also a small snapshot of the differentiation that can be seen in some learning intentions, the same scavenger hunt but catered to the different abilities that may be present in a new entrant or a Year 2 class. We bounce the idea that children are kaitiaki of creation. Again, you can see some clear differentiation of the same activity. Most learning packs also include a prayer focus that can be displayed for morning prayers. In this pack, there's also a QR code sheet that could be used as a reading rotation with stories linked to looking after creation. To be honest, this is one of my favourite activities in this phase of learning. The blobfish never fails to get a reaction. This activity sends children on a QR code scavenger hunt, appreciating all the gross and wonderful creatures that God has created. They then match the creature to the adjective they think describes it on the sheet. Lots of fun, as you can imagine. AO5 is explain what makes something holy and why God, people, and some objects can be called holy. Throughout this achievement objective, children are exploring what holy means through words, actions, and things. There is an opportunity to be creative through art and a fun activity with an idea that through small, ordinary acts of everyday love, we can be holy heroes. Being holy is living our lives like Jesus. There's a really cool interactive PowerPoint which explains why some things are called holy and how we treat them because they are holy. AO6 is identify some names and images for God and use these in our prayers. Throughout this AO, children will explore how our names are important with a connection to whānau at home. We'll learn that there are different names for God, some taught in the Old Testament and some that we've been taught by Jesus. There are plenty of bright and beautiful resources to explore. Most can be printed to use throughout the year in your prayer time. AO7, recognise that God is just and fair and wants us to be just and fair too. Children will explore that Jesus showed us that God is just and fair, what it means to be just and fair, being just and fair is the right way to treat people, and how children of our age can be fair, just, and compassionate. This is a great AO to get kids outside and involved in games. You can cheekily sway the games that they are not fair, and children really start to understand what a sense of being just and fair is all about. They unpack what the word means, and again, here is an example of differentiation within the achievement objective. There's some printable pages that can connect justice and fairness to what Jesus taught us, and also some printable posters for classroom displays. Right, just when you thought you were understanding what we're doing, AO8 is split into two sets of learning, Set A and Set B. Set A is pitched at a new entrant to Year 1 level, and Set B is aimed more at the Year 2s. You will see as you journey through the rest of the themes that most of the learning has then been split into Set A and Set B. Like I said earlier, our mahi is designed to be organic and is forever evolving. This is one of the changes we decided needed to be addressed moving forward into the other themes. So for AO8, children will recognise that prayer is talking with and listening to God on our spiritual journey. We can tell God how amazing God is in words and waiata. There is plenty of time for reflection and to connect what the children have been learning throughout the theme to their prayer. Children learn that prayer is just talking to God and learning how to listen for God's response. In Set B, in AO8, the learning goes a little deeper and a little wider. There is more opportunity for independence and developing that friendship we all seek with God. There is fun and engaging ways to pray that can be used throughout the year, even throughout the whole school. I hope that this little snapshot of the Te Atua theme has been helpful. You can see there's still lots to explore. We always love to hear how schools are going and to connect when we can. We're going to continue to revisit and build on some of the ideas that we have done, so if you have anything really cool, get in touch. On behalf of the NCRS team, I'd like to thank you for all your hard work and let you know that we always keep you in our prayers. Take care and enjoy your mahi. Ka kite.